Welcome back to the Walking the Path podcast with your host, Rogleio Diaz. And today we are going to be going into my top insight with working with Mother Ayahuasca. And I recently got back from Costa Rica and I worked with her in March. And that was the most intense ceremony, I have to say. But before I go into those insights and what I wanted to share today, I just want to share a bit about my journey, how I even came across Mother Ayahuasca, and the reason that I was able to even work with her in the first place, right? So I started this this medicine journey about 3 years ago, and I've done 3 experiences with Mother Ayahuasca since then as well. I've been able to heal so much because of it. But I actually got introduced to Mother Aya from working with my buddy Victor Odo. He hosts retreats in Costa Rica, and I did coaching programs with him. I assisted at his retreats, and then I saw an opportunity to go work with her. And she calls you. She really calls you. And at that time, I bought my ticket. It was ready to go, but I recently moved out of my parents, and I was living in Flagstaff, and my finances weren't the best, so if I stopped working at that time, I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, and if I stopped, I would be struggling when I got back. So I had to make a tough choice, and I said, you know what, Vic, let me wait for the next one. And what I love is that they gave me the credit, right? They gave me the credit, so it was still there. I was still able to go for the next trip, and that's what I did. Now, I don't know if that was just my own fears, if it was a legitimate reason of me not being able to go, but maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I wasn't ready, and I thought I was, but I went at the perfect time, and I had the most beautiful experience. But Mother Aya really starts working with you before you even get there, before you even get to the ceremony. There really is such a thing as a pre-purge, and then there's such a thing as a post-purge. I've experienced it. And it's, oh my gosh, it's like, there's so much uncertainty, right? And that's for any experience. There's so much uncertainty that when you're stepping into the unknown, when you're about to look at fractals of yourself that maybe you repress unconsciously, it's like, oh man, am I ready? Am I ready, right? But I was so excited. I was so excited either way. And I remember after finishing a workout, before I made the choice to go to the second retreat, it was my first retreat, but it was an up and coming retreat where I was going to use my credit. I remember sitting down at the gym after working out, and I saw the beautiful view of the retreat house, right, where they were running or doing the retreat, and I just remember this feeling like I need to be there. I have to be there, and right there and then, I decided it was time to use that credit. So it was an organic introduction in my life, Mother Ayahuasca. She came at the perfect time, and when she calls you, you're strong enough to go into it, and you'll never. What I've realized, one of the insights I've realized is you'll never have to look at or heal something you're not ready for. It's always. If it comes up, it's because you're strong enough. It's always because you're strong enough. And you can always trust in that. If you're about to have your first experience, or if you're just, you're hesitant about going and doing this type of medicine work. And then honestly, I don't even like calling it medicine work. It's like, it's a tool. It really is a tool, and it's intelligent, it's incredible. She'll always give you what you need. But if you're going back and forth, just know that I've never received more than I can handle. Everything that's come up for me is because I was ready for it. If she calls you and you feel this pull, it's because you're ready for it. But that's really how I came across Mother Aya. And I went to my first ceremony, and it was beautiful, and I healed so much, and I realized how much I still had from my mother, like her patterns, her, the inner critic. It was the voice of my mom. It was growing up and feeling like a failure. It was growing up and feeling like I could never do anything right. And it was I felt like a burden as a child, right? Because of that. And there were so many things that I never would have looked at if it wasn't for Mother Aya. And it was such a magical experience. And I remember one of the things that came through as well was nobody's rejecting you. You're rejecting yourself. You're not willing to look at, or you weren't willing to give yourself the love, the validation. And I wanted it from others because I wouldn't give it to myself. And then, oh, they're rejecting me. No, I was rejecting myself. And those are the kind of realizations, the kind of insights that I experience, right? Give me one sec. That's some good stuff. But I met so many amazing people there, right? The first time I went as a participant and just a participant, I met so many incredible people. Everybody's on their own healing journey. Now everybody got what they needed. And I have so much respect for everyone that was there, for everybody who's going to work with her, because it takes courage. It takes so much courage to go within yourself and meet yourself and meet those shadows. Meet yourself deeply and meet those shadow aspects that, you'll do anything not to feel them. So that was in a nutshell, again, how I was able to come across Mother Aya and my first experience. And then my second experience was so beautiful too. They're always beautiful, it was the most beautiful, unexpected journey. I remember telling myself that. And it's so many beautiful moments with the people there. You build these unbreakable bonds. It's like we're here together doing this work. It's amazing. It's amazing, and everybody's such a reflection. You get to talk to somebody, hey, you even have a 10-minute conversation. You get to see how much they mirror you and how much their life experiences reflect yours and match yours. And it's beautiful. It really is. And that the second time, I remember it was the third night. It was my first overnight ceremony. So we stayed up all night, right, doing the work, healing with Mother Aya, and I was looking out into this beautiful forest. And at that time, it was tough, guys. I was really going through it. I was struggling financially. I was trying to find more of myself. And I remember asking Mother Aya, asking my spirit as well, am I ever going to get to that life that I want, right? That dream reality. Because it's been so long. I felt, it was years on this journey, and am I going to get there? Am I really going to get there? And the response was yes. Roy, you're going to have everything you ever wanted and more. I was tearing up in that moment. I can tear up right now because I'm living it. I'm living it. 1 year later, I'm living it. Being a full-time coach, service, doing what I've been wanting to do for 8 years, my friends. It's been building up for 8 years. It's just, it's incredible, and it's all worth it, So that's what my spirit told me. Mother Aya was, telling me, it's like, yo, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, and I did. I'm living it, But my spirit gave me a message that I'll always remember. It told me, I'm always here. And every dark night, and every painful moment, every time you cry, every time you break down, I'm here. You're never alone. This awareness that's guiding you, it's always here. It never leaves you. It's like if you ever forget, remember this moment. I'm always here. It's here with me right now. It's, speaking through me. I'm just channeling right now. Don't doubt your spirit's essence and the guidance that it gives you. When you learn to trust it, when you really learn to trust it, you get so far. And that, every time I work with Mother Aya, I started building more trust, more faith in myself, because there was all this stagnant energy that was being let go of. That I wanted to. Sometimes I didn't know how. You think you heal something and then it comes back and you're like, why? Why is it still here? But patience. patience is truly a virtue, because it all has its own timing. When you let go, whatever you need to let go of, it all has its own timing. And you trust what you don't understand. Even when it feels so chaotic, when you feel so afraid, when you don't get why you have to keep going through this, like, over and over again. Can you still trust it? Promise you, if you keep going, even if you just freaking survive, just focus on surviving one day at a time, you're going to understand later on why. What it was pushing you towards, what it had to draw out of you in those moments. Usually a lot of strength, a lot of resiliency. But yeah, so that second ceremony, I received a lot of insights, a lot of messages about my path, about what I was meant to do, being a coach. There was still some doubt if I should be a speaker, if I should still be doing this. But every time I worked with her, she showed me the truth, that I was always ready, that I'm enough, I'm worthy, and that was huge. That was huge to be able to really feel that. But like I said, the most powerful ceremony I had was recently in March. And this is where, it was 4 months ago, right? Everything changed. My whole life changed, literally, after this past retreat. There was this confidence that I was able to tap into and discover. There was this strength that I was able to tap into and discover. I found my own love. My own self-love. It's so, something I don't really talk about. It's so hard for me to be compassionate, to be patient with myself. And I think that, I'm pretty sure that stems from inner child wounds as well, because that's how I felt as a kid. No shade to my parents. All our parents do our best, but that's like, I'm literally parenting myself the way my parents were doing to me. And that's why you have to reparent yourself. And that's what I've been doing as well in my own way. But it takes time, right? It's all the process. So this is something that I've been learning to do. But again, I found my own love. I remember I was like, this is it. I remember putting my hand on my heart and just remember, this is what I've been looking for. There's this song, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. It's a famous song by I can't recall the name of the artist, but I would always listen to that song. Still haven't found what I'm looking for, and I'm like, yeah. And then in that moment, deep in with the medicine, with Mother Aya, I remember, this is it. This was what I was looking for. My own love. I spent my whole life trying to receive love from my parents, mentors, the people around me, but I would never try to find my own and give it to my own. Like, I would want things to say verbally and other things to really accept that, to really believe that, right? And I'm like, I found it. I was so happy. I cried. I was crying there, just so much gratitude. And there was a moment in time also after that moment where I had to use the restroom, and everybody was busy, all the helpers there were busy, and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom, but it was hard to get up. It was hard to walk. And I remember my spirit literally lifting me up. I'm like, you know what? I trust myself. I got up in the middle of the ceremony, and I could literally feel like my spirit walking me to the bathroom. I'm like, I can do this. And then I went to the bathroom and I used it, and I had this huge release, this breakdown. Like, man, like, you're doing it. You're so strong. You were always strong. And I had a thing about asking for help, for support. The irony. And Mother Aya showed me that I'm strong with support and I'm strong without support. Asking for help doesn't make me weak. And I always believed that. So I try to prove by not asking for help that I was strong, right? Because if I don't ask for help, then I'm not weak, then that means I'm strong. That was BS. It's not true. I went through the whole ego death in that ceremony too. But I remember just breaking down in the bathroom, like, I'm so proud of you, Roy. Like, you're doing it. You're doing it. I was just, I've had so much love for myself that I never had it. I never had it. Not like this. But after that moment, I went back, sat back down, and that was a ceremony where I released something that I've been holding on for 22 years. 22 years. I threw up. I never threw up during ceremony. I threw up. I purged that way, and 5 minutes later, I'm having this release. And I go into my sexual trauma. You know, I was molested by a man and a woman when I was 7, and that did some damage, guys. That really did some damage. And I had to relive that experience. I relived it. I went deep into it. I relived it. And then I was finally able to release that. I don't know if it was all of it, but I literally felt the energy in like a swirl, just like leaving my vessel from my sacrum. And I felt so free. I felt so light. I felt so empowered. I couldn't believe finally I could let go of this, or at least some of it or most of it, right? I don't know how much, but 22 years. I'm 30 now. That trauma, that wound has been deeply in my unconscious, messing, not messing with me, but like I said, doing some damage, right? Doing some damage. And I just broke down again in my mat. I'm in my mat, right? And I'm just like, I can breathe. I don't have to hold on to this anymore. That I'll always be grateful for Mother Aya for helping me release that. And it didn't happen on the first ceremony. It didn't happen on the second, but on the third ceremony. And I asked her, "Why, Mother? Why, Mother Aya? Why did I have to wait till the third?" And she said, "Because you were ready for it. Because you were ready for it. And it was finally time." And I was just so grateful. And I asked, like, Mother Aya, I have so much respect for this tool, for her. And I asked, how can I give back? How can I thank you? And that's the whole purpose of this podcast, of this video right now. She said, go out and share your healing. Share your healing with the world. And here we are. Sharing it. And just what she did for me. Like, and it's not, it takes two to tango, right? She guided me to all this, and I had to feel it. I had to confront it. I had to be brave. So it's not just that you work in Mother Aya and she takes care of all this for you, because you still got to do the work before, during, and after. And that's what I've been doing. That's what integration is, right? You're embodying the lessons, the healing lessons that you gained while you were working with her. And here we are. It could take a year to integrate the lessons, 2, 3. I don't put a time limit. I just trust it. And it's just wow. It's like she helped me break through something that, again, I've been dealing with 22 years. And just it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, and I keep saying beautiful. That's like the best way to describe it. So I had that release, and man, it's just you have so much respect for the intelligence of this tool once you experience it, and it humbles you. It brings to your awareness what really matters in your life, to you, what you want to stand for. We're really reflecting on your life and who you're becoming. But yeah, that's all for the experience, guys. But just something on the side. After we finished up ceremony that morning, it was like we stayed up from, I believe it was 7 at night to like 8 in the morning. I was living the frequency of service. I was embodying that. And I just remember everybody was trying to put their mats away, right? I'm like, no, you're the priority here. Give me your mat. And I just kept going like this, like, give me your mat, give me the mat. And people, I obviously, I couldn't catch everybody, but they would be halfway to putting away the mats, and I would take that and their sheets and just pure service. What it's about, what we came here to do. And it starts with the small things. As Bob Proctor says, do the small things great. You'll be able to do the big things great. Yeah. But that, wow, those were a couple of my insights, and it was beautiful. It was incredible to be a part of that. And what I didn't mention was I was assisting at that retreat as well in Costa Rica. So I went as a participant in one, and then I assisted in two. So you get to see both sides, and it's you really it's like you tap into another level of service when you do that, because you're doing the work for yourself, but you're also helping these people, helping the participants do their work, just by being there, and they know you're there for them if they need you, right? But yeah, guys, just such a great experience. And I'll leave you with one final story. I know this podcast is going. There's so much that's coming back right now by me just sharing this. There was a night where, and this goes back to service. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur or you want to be of service, this will help you. This will help you. There was a night where we had we set up the mats every time, right, for the participants, so they just come, they lay down in their spot, and we begin the ceremony. But I had to, me and our crew, we had to set up the mats this one night, and it was a challenge. Right? It was storming. Right? Again, it's in Costa Rica. It was storming. The electricity went out. So we couldn't see it's called the Maloca. We're down in this place called the Maloca. We couldn't see anything. It was pitch dark. We had to have our phone lights out to be able to see it. And because it was pouring, even with the roof, the rain came and soaked about half the mats. So half of the mats and the sheets and the pillows, they were wiped. They were freaking watered down. And we're like, okay. So we work with the crew at the retreat, like us, me and the other assistants. We work with the crew at the retreat. So we're all working as a team to get these dried up, to get the mats dried up. We had buckets there. We had just everything they needed, right? We had to get it was already set up, but we had to dry out the sheets, dry out the mats. Some of the buckets that we had there were wet, and it was a night. It was a fun night, right? And I just remember, like, I think it would take like an hour. It took maybe 2.5 to get it ready to go. And I just remember, being there and getting all this done. You're tired and you're fatigued, and I just remember thinking, I'm not gonna fail them. Like, these participants came here to have an experience. Like, I could care less about mine. I'm not gonna let these participants down. And I did whatever I could all night, whatever I could within those 2.5 hours or more, honestly, like, just to make sure they had the best experience possible. And that's what I feel service is about. I really do. you're willing to go the extra mile. You're willing to do whatever is necessary to give them the best experience, what they came here for, right? Like just doing your part, literally just doing your part. And they did. Everything was good. Everything was ready to go when it was time for ceremony. And I was so happy for them. Like, guys, you deserve this. You deserve this experience. You came here, you flew out. Like, there's no way you're not gonna have an incredible experience. Not as long as I can help it. So, yeah, just that's where I go to with service, guys. And that's what I feel is pure, genuine, having the right intention kind of service. It comes from your heart. It really comes from your heart. And you'll do whatever so that they can have the most amazing experience. But I hope this helps, guys. I hope this episode helped. It's a little different. I never really talk about my ayahuasca experience, but maybe somebody needs to hear this. I know it came through for a reason. So I hope this helped. Subscribe, like, and comment. Please let me know if this did help. And don't hesitate to share it. Share this video. Show some love, right? But yeah. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for listening. I put out weekly episodes. I try to put out weekly episodes, but you know how life gets in the way. So it's if you don't see an episode one week, just know that it's coming the next. But yeah, much love, guys. If you want to learn more about my services, my products, what I do, go ahead and check out the description below. You'll be able to see more in regards to what it is that I do. And I offer a free gift. It's called the One Guide. It's an audiobook. It helps you align with your most authentic self, tap into that newfound trust, and get the ability to guide yourself in your most chaotic moments. And the One Guide, it's such a paradox because you're the one guy, you're the one guy. And everything that I share in that audiobook is there to help you empower yourself, to help you lead yourself, no matter what happens, to help you believe in yourself. It's all there for you, right? It's all there for you. But much love, guys. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you very soon.